And he was like, no, dude, we're like thousands and thousands of people and, all this stuff. And so it took him like 2 weeks. And then when I joined in, as soon as he got me in uniform, he's like, all right, just to give you a heads up, we're at war with MVP and MDS. And he just started busting off all these different clans. He's like, we're going to use you for battles and all this stuff. And I started like battling people like left and right, like off the break, man. It just kind of opened my eyes to how this whole, system is. Because before that, when you hear about clans, a lot of times it's these small, upstart clans that are, just kind of all rinky-dink and tiny and shit. And then when you get into like this level with like MEA or NBP or KSI, LHR, Dark Ultra, XRT, all these different clans, like it's just on a completely different level, man. And that's what kind of just blew me away. And it added a lot more replay value to the game. I'm sure you guys would agree. I mean,
oh yeah,
I would have sold Call of Duty 4 a year ago had I not gotten into MEA, because I was just like, all right, I'm done with this. I crushed people in matchmaking and it just got boring. But then once you get like these private match battles going on with these other clans, man, it just adds so much more to the whole, the whole experience of the game, man. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. I never thought I would have kept it.
And that's what I'm about to say. Yeah, because that's another thing. Like the whole clan thing or whatever is you made the statement of the little kids that would message you. I think that I love this girl. I think that's what that's what killed it. That's
exactly
because after we got through fighting MEA or whatever, we went on to the point where all that would run into us is these little fucking kids, man. These, hey, we want to battle you, or hey, where's this, where's that, and like we're gonna take them serious, like I'm 20-something years old now. What am I doing on a video game fighting a 10-year-old? You know what I mean? Sonic, you understand why? Okay, you know what I'm talking about.
I got you, man.
Because sometimes when you fight, but you want to know what though? That's all that's left out there. That's a majority of what's left out there, because clans died in Halo 2, and there are very few that are strong that are still out there, such as MEA, such as KSI, such as XGC. The ones who were fit to survive are still out there. But people making clans and trying to make a name for themselves, that shit died in Halo 2, I think. It was really rare for you to see a clan that was standing on its own and, still standing the fight till this day. You know what I mean? I mean, Call of Duty came out, and Call of Duty brought that back too, but it didn't have, Call of Duty is nowhere near how fucking hardcore Halo was. Like, Halo clans was the shit. Like, everybody had a fucking purpose every time you saw a Halo clan,
Well, the only thing that I've seen that's done differently with Call of Duty is what's really been ruining it for me is the whole game battle system. Not because I have anything against game battles, but it just breeds like disloyalty with people. Like if you ever look at a game battles team, the team exists for the season and then they break up and then and the guys, it creates clan hoppers and stuff like that, and it just doesn't really build like, yo, this is my team and we're gonna represent and we're going to stay solid together and stay strong and all that kind of stuff. You don't see that with these teams. I talk to guys and it's like, oh, I got this team this season and then I was on this team that season. And a lot of times I'll see teams literally break apart during the game battle season and they just fall apart.
Yeah.
And
I have first-hand experience with that. I have first-hand experience with that.
At least with the clans, it seems like, we have it where you have a team and each guy plays his role. And with the loadout, with the loadouts in Call of Duty, it's like, this guy is my dedicated sniper. He's always going to spawn with the sniper rifle. This guy is our running gunner. He always has a submachine gun. He's running full speed and shooting people down. On Halo, it's more like the guys, you really have to work as a team. Like, this guy has to be good enough in a 1v1 situation to fight his way to get the sniper rifle so that he can become effective. It's just a whole different system, but
it's a whole different system. Yeah, I'm about to say, and it's like, and on that note, it's the thing about Halo, and that I think that's what made Halo a bit more easier for people to join and play, is because the difficulty on it. I mean, it was complicated, but it did, at the time, Halo 2 didn't have as much detail as what Modern Warfare 2 can present us today, you know what I mean? But I tell you what, though, Halo Reach will make its mark. Like, that's going to be Halo's return. And if there's clans on Halo Reach, I see a huge comeback in store. If there is clans on Halo Reach, that's going to be game over. I guarantee that. That's because, I mean, clans
But
is
you're
what
going to
brought...
see a lot of competition in the multiplayer. Like you're starting to
Exactly.
see, you have BioShock 2 now has a multiplayer, and I think that's going to be the next step. Is all these different companies vying for that multiplayer following, because that's where the big money is, man.
Exactly.
The big games are the multiplayer,
multiplayer games.
shooters.
Because people would rather spend $8 to rent a game instead of paying $60 to buy it and see how it ends, and then once you beat it, just let dust collect on it. There's not many people out there that are gonna want to do that. But the multiplayer, that's better for us, because that's more of a variety of games to play. Because I mean, games piss you off, especially online. If you play online games and multiplayer matches, you're gonna get pissed off. You're gonna want to switch the game. Having more options now when you switch the games, I think it's going to make it a lot more easier for people, But, I personally think they need to add on more multiplayers to different games. They need to add that shit on. Because without it, it kind of it doles out the game, it's going to be, there's games like Batman Arkham Asylum and then, BioShock 2 that are always going to have their replay value, but how many fucking games do you see that come across like that? Like, there's very few of them.
Well, I think that's what every company is looking for, is that killer app that not only has a campaign that somebody can rent and like it enough to want to buy it, but also the multiplayer to have it some lasting value. Because I can tell you, the only games I own are games that we compete in MEA. Everything else, all single-player games, I got rid of them. I don't even need them. But, like, all I have is Call of Duty and Halo games. Because even though I dropped $60 on it, I've gotten more than my $60 worth. I mean, especially just Modern Warfare 2 and Halo 3, battles and films and theater and making these videos like we are now. I mean, this thing's worth hundreds of dollars to me, actually, just because of the amount of stuff that I've gone through with MEA and dealing with other clans just on these few games,